Welcome back to Tyranny. Looks like it's time to go to Trippnettle. I'm a little bit sad there's nowhere for me to go in between there, just because of the time restriction. It's a 6-hour journey. But, yeah. Let's do it. Your path is blocked by a small group of Ventrian guard. You can go no farther until you deal with them. Alright, a random encounter. Well, possibly random, we'll see. This could be a
That's far
set
enough,
piece.
Fatebinder.
In fact, the fact that this is a named enemy makes me think that this is not a random encounter, but something that's scripted. That's far enough, Fatebinder. A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, and her outfit is festooned in braids and knots of sailor's line. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm.
Did the voices of Nurat send you to gather my head and complete his collection? If so, we'll have to save our tussle for another time. Today I have business. Vengeance can wait.
Lady, this isn't about you, but if you're in my path, you're gonna die. So, you know.
You may have consigned my school to a fate worse than death, but you've done well by the Vendrian Guard. Many of them are alive today thanks to the truce you forged years back. They seem to think you have a trace of nobility in you. Here's hoping they're right.
Is this a potential companion? I just gained loyalty with her, so maybe it is. Or at least she's a notable person that I'll be meeting again.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in a ready stance, their nerves clearly on edge. Well, if she wants to parlay, we can parlay. That's fine. I said, but sure. We can resolve this with words. I like resolving things with words. You have me at a disadvantage.
I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and today I speak on behalf of the Vendrian Guard.
As Fatebinder of Tunon and emissary of Kairos, I will hear your words.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos' way, but we must have hope.
Okay.
A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Assuming he's our prisoner, what would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy, got other limbs too.
Tarkus Deimos is with the chorus now.
Then if we see him again, it will have to be as enemies.
She looks to the warriors to either side of her, shaking her head.
If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Palox Tyrell is dead. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved. as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
We're through. Leave while you still can.
Then I will take no more of your time. Apologies. We will depart at once.
She bows curtly, never letting her eyes leave yours, before turning to leave. A moment later, the bodyguards turn to follow.
I got it.
No need to fight if I don't have to. I have more pressing things to attend to. What are these symbols? Oh, those symbols probably mean, okay, that one is probably for where I spawn. Maybe not. No, I spawned right in front of them.
Can't do that.
That's where she was. That's where that symbol was. I guess those symbols though.
Have a look here.
Oh. What did I find? Where? You can make out faintest outlines of a soldier's arm in the bottom of this pond. A victim of previous battle in the area. So I noticed something. So subterfuge also works as perception. I see, which is good, because I plan to have a high subterfuge. The grasslands of the tier stretch far throughout the land. Much of it remains uninhabited and unclaimed by any faction.
Moving cautiously.
Aha! Staggering burn. Alright, so that's like a poison or an oil or something to apply to a weapon, and whetstone. It almost looks like something's buried there. But I can't click on it, so apparently not. Oh, before I do anything else, I haven't really checked out what Lantry has. I might as well put this helmet on him. No? Okay, so he's got his quill. Several your faint bind armor would give him better protection, better deflection, much worse recovery. Still might be worth it though. The gloves. I don't care about unarmed DPS. Better deflection, worse recovery. It's not much better deflection, so I think I'll leave it. He's got 3 healing potions. Give him that elemental barrier potion too. +1 vitality. That's cool. This gives me +2 resolve. So these are like trinkets or jewelry I can wear. Okay. Alright, so we got some Scarlet Chorus here. Potion of Revival. Fake limp. Reinforcements? Finally. Come this way. We need to... Of course, Warrior pumps his tattooed arm and salute. Midway through the gesture, a look of confusion comes dawn across his painted face. Sister Verse? What did I do to deserve such a helping hand? A chuckle escapes the man before he shudders, placing a hand over his mouth, at once alert of the need to remain quiet. His voice drops to a harsh whisper. The fifth eye has a sense of humor sending you. First returns a cold glare, but says nothing. You two know each other. This one used to run with my pack, until he left for Dead Nell's gang. Motherless swine didn't even have the guts to fight me for the right to leave. He just packed up and left with his coward's tail between his fat legs. And wise move at that. How many have you lost under your command so far? He holds a hand up, stifling a smile. I misspoke. I'm sure you only got most of them killed. Can't rule out death by their own incompetence. Seems Trippnettle didn't take my advice and have you gelded to curb your outbursts. Verse draws her blades in a fluid motion. Apologize. Now. Ooh, I got a lot of life experience. With a swift, confident stride, you advance on Fake Limp and grip his neck before he can step away. His stance wobbles as you plunge down in his throat, and he presses his arms against you, desperate to push you away. At last, he tears himself away from your grip, gasping for air and clutching at his throat. I'm sorry, Mr. Verse. I did not mean any disrespect. Of course you did, and I couldn't care less. Just know this. You're not good enough to do it to my face. She sniffs and glares at him. Clean yourself up. Apologies. I've been in the field for weeks, answering to no one. I've forgotten my place. Their camp is just yonder, he points to the northeast, and we've kept an eye on them for the last couple days. Some of them left a few hours ago, looking for food, maybe out on patrol. They haven't returned yet. Might be wise to strike now while they're divided. How'd you find this place? Happy accident of sorts. He points east toward the mountains. We were up in the mountains with orders to keep the Oathbreakers in and keep any would-be allies out of the valley. Strangest things happens. Tremors hit the pass, and the tremors lasted a bit, so I figured they were magical, but they weren't. But there weren't no sign of Earthshakers of anybody. That was Kairos magic sealing the valley. Oh yeah? That'd explain it. We fought for a second. Karen survived death and was back for vengeance. Figuring we didn't need to watch the pass no longer, we headed down slope back to camp. He points with his eye to the north. New Fish and the gang's got good ears, good eyes, and she spotted the campfires from up high. We got curious, swung this way, and that's pretty much how we got here. What's your plan now? I lost 2 of my gang in the mountains, and we've been on half rations for days, so until we get a much larger contingent, we're not likely to win any fight we start. Now that you're here, I figure my gang will hold back and keep an eye out for trouble. Maybe swoop in if things get messy. I can handle this. No need to push your warriors past their limits. More than that, I just don't want them tagging along, because with them along, we're probably going to get into a battle. With just me and my two companions, I may be able to talk my way through this. Smiling broadly, he claps his hands in approval. Kairos would applaud your bravery. My gang and I will lurk nearby. When you make your move, we'll descend and help with capturing Florian. Don't worry, I'll let the others know you did the heavy lifting. I'll cheat at battle, but not with my reputation. I can talk to my companions, huh? Couldn't help but notice you were eyeballing the disfavored symbol littered about the camp. It's hardly a symbol, it's just a scrawl. That's true, but it used to be the pride of Graven Ash's Legion before Kairos made them deface it. So what happened? Word has it that Ash has been under more scrutiny than the other Archons, seeing as he took a stand against Kairos in the past. Even though he bent the knee in the end, that doesn't place him above suspicion. Kairos and the other Archons keep him on a tight leash. Ash's troops impressed the growing empire, but Kairos made them sacrifice everything they were up to the point Ash surrendered. They've been disfavored ever since, and fighting to earn back their honor. I guess that's why you don't cross the Overlord. Kairos holds a grudge with a mean, jealous streak. Go on then.
What do you need?
We'll talk later. Let me talk to my boy Lantry. I think asking her personal questions will work better once I have a higher reputation with her. Lantry stops astride, darting his hands about his bandolier and belt as he softly mouths off a mental inventory of his inks and quills. When at last assured his possessions are in place, he looks up at you with a smile. What might I do for you? If you're going to travel with me, I need to know more about you. An understandable request. Let's see. Born in Sunder, no kids. With a few longings of fatherly love I've got in my heart are satisfied by taking care of carrier birds. Learned my sigils and spells about 30 years back, and being able to defend myself has opened a life of field study, and haven't grown tired of the wandering just yet. I've written on all manner of subjects, magic, birds, language, geometry, but my main focus has been chronicling. I find there's no finer pursuit than recording the events of our times. There will always be legends of what happened. Someone ought to make note of the real thing. Aside from that, I don't know. I practice centering stance, draw portraits, make my own inks, and have a sharp aversion to autobiography. I'm about as boring as watching coral grow. How'd you wind up here in Ventrio as well? When the Vellum Citadel was set aflame by Kairos' edict, hey, I was there. In fact, I read that edict. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking, not Vellum Citadel. No, I read that. Never mind. I fled as fast as my knees would carry me. Every direction seemed a bad idea, but heading to Vendrian's well seemed the least suicidal option, mind you. I was laboring under the misconception that the Vendrian Guard had surrendered, and the fighting in the valley had stopped. Looking first at his left arm, then at his right, he reached through the assorted notes and inked across his skin. Ah yes, 7th of sparring. That's when I crossed the mountains. That would be 2 days, 3 days after the Vendrian Guard jettisoned their surrender and claimed the Citadel in the valley. The Vendrian Guard nabbed me and several other sages moved through the valley. The other sages were sympathetic to the Vendrian Guard. As for me, I just agreed so as not to get everyone killed. I think defying the Overlord is really slow and stupid form of suicide. Tell me about your work with the Oathbreakers. The Vendrian Guard has several nobleborn in their ranks, and they know their letters. Problem is, they've come from noble houses scattered across the realm, each with their own private script. That's where the sages and I come in. Between us, we're familiar enough with all the regional scripts to translate and coordinate. But translating is child's play, so I might have helped out a bit more. The old citadel at the center of the valley is a crumbling affair, and there's no time for proper construction. It seemed a crime not to put my magic to work. What did you learn of their plans in your time there? It won't surprise you to know the strategy is largely non-existent. They cling to the hope that their example will inspire others in the tiers to come to the valley and join the cause. The recent inaction between the Archons has emboldened them, something the Archons fear the Vendrian Guard. I'm sure they have it quite wrong. What else can you tell me about the Oathbreakers and their forces? The Vendrian Guard surrendered back in 429, and while a lot of them were conscripted in the chorus, 3 of the leaders, Captain Ari, Atami, Florian, never turned themselves in. Instead, they hid in the valley, gathering up what resources they could until they could challenge the local garrison. At highest count, earlier in the year, they numbered over 400, their ranks swollen by soldiers of Haven and Azure that survived the war. They are a dying breed, these Oathbreakers. Most of the tiers have finally come to realize that Kairos has already won. And before you ask, as connoisseur of the inevitable, I have made my peace with the Overlord and bowed to his might. We'll talk later.
Have a look here.
Staff. Staff of Atrophy. Two-handed. I'll be fine. I'll take it. Bronze axe. Who's this guy standing on top of the cart? Oh, that's the Vendrian Guard, huh? Alright. Let's make our way in.
Can't do that.
I'm not here to make friends.
Oh, I'm getting attacked. Okay.
That's how it's done.
Aye.
potion too, dude. No, I don't have it in this, no, it's in his quick items.
Count. Uh-huh.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass. Will do.
Nice. Alright, let's see what kind of goodies we got here. Broken armor.
Will do.
Do you see that?
Alright, they haven't seen me yet. It's the perfect time for me to cast Titan's Touch.
Will do.
Interesting.
Oh crap. I didn't know that guy could just teleport like that. Let's see.
I'm on it.
For the queen!
Ah, it didn't work. Nice.
Bleed out, you little shit! Ah! Ah!
I'm not built for this sort of violence.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass! I'm not dead yet.
Right. Curious.
Ah, she's wounded. She's wounded too. I have one wound. Okay. That's why I'm not healing all the way. Alright, well, I'm about to walk into there, so before I do that,
Aye. Yes.
Alex Florian. The Overlord's peons have arrived. Blades up. Fox in hand and ready for battle, the Vendrian Guard captain bellows orders to the warriors in his camp. Dressed in tarnished bronze and sporting countless scars across his arms, Palax Florian towers over his peers. If you value your life, drop. His words fall silent as he scans your face in careful detail. Wait, I know you. How on Taratus do I know your face? Can it be? Peacebinder? The warrior relaxes his grip on his falx. Come to lecture me about not holding up my end of the surrender. If you value your life, drop everything and flee, or stand and fight. I'm happy with that option too. It just seemed unsporting for me to suggest it. I left my nicest blue flag back at camp, but I'd like to talk all the same. You want to talk? Florian looks in either direction at his soldiers, gauging their reactions. Fine. Speak your mind. Try anything funny, and I'll run my falx clear up your backside until you taste bronze. Brother, restrain your blade. The warrior flanking Florian steps forward, placing his hand on the captain's shoulder. Remember, I told you it just wasn't any fate binder that saved my life. It was the peace binder. Listen, before you taunt your way into a fight, the Vendrian Guard captain nods slowly, his gaze falling to his feet until at last he takes a deep breath and speaks. Fate binder, honor dictates I stay my blade. Please speak. telling you this to try to save your lives, like I did in the past. If you submit to the voices of Narat, these soldiers go free. You have my word. I have the Peacebinder's word? He snickers, shaking his head with a nervous smile. So I get to meet the masked monstrosity, and my crew lives, so that they might die in the next battle? I think it'd be less worrisome if he told me that I have to be Cairn's peg boy. Aren't you listening? They want just you. The rest of us slip away and have a chance. If this were a battle and you could stand in front of a disfavored phalanx and actually stall them long enough for me and the crew to escape, you'd do it. You wouldn't think twice. Terrell would say the same. He loosens his grip on his falls, shaking his head. The Vendrian Guard captain inhales deeply, taking a quick survey of his soldiers as he exhales slowly. I will do it. If you allow my soldiers to leave, I will concede and agree to be your prisoner. It's your lucky day. I'm in a merciful mood. I'll let all of you leave. No, I'm not letting all of them leave. Surrender, and the rest of your crew may leave. You hear that? Go on and tell the crew back home that I'll return soon. And if not, Catherine turns his gaze towards you. Well, if that happens, I trust you will avenge me. But if this fate binder speaks true, I'll be back soon. I'll even bring back a souvenir, the severed head of the voices of Narat. Nothing personal, but I can't come back empty-handed. That said, I only need you. The rest are free to go. None will forget your sacrifice. The brothers lock arms and press their foreheads together. Worry not. I'll take up the rudder. Each warrior in turn approaches Florian, embraces, and readies to depart with a silent nod. When the warriors have said their goodbyes, they hoist their rucksacks and depart.
Yes.
And I am the super mediator. No one can withstand my silver tongue. Ooh, a hammer. Tenderizer. Nice. Stunning iron core. I'll take those. Insects flutter around and land on a few pieces of rotten vegetables interspersed among the produce. Excuse me. Yeah, it's high DPS. Slow recovery. Not the greatest accuracy, but massive damage. Great armor penetration. Cool. Still mostly be using my bow.
Can't do that.
Striding into camp at the tail end of the sprint, the Scarlet Chorus warrior begins to speak, but stumbles forward, bracing himself short of collapse as he catches his breath. More on the way, his words whirl out between labored breaths. Patrol from this morning, coming back. Well, look at that. He smiles an exhausted grin through his heavy breathing. The captain is in one piece, just as requested. The voices will be pleased. The captain looks down at his feet. A small smile creeps over his face. You haven't won just yet. Second patrol should be returning right about now. If you can tackle the incoming patrol, my gang and I will make sure this Oathbreaker sees the voices of Narat. The warrior salutes you with a wicked smile. Good hunting with you, Binder. The Archon of Secrets will be most pleased. Alright, I should probably get ready for battle then. I was kind of hoping I would be able to tackle this without having to fight, but no such luck.
On it.
Alright, where's the second patrol? There they are. We have an honor guard, an archer, and another archer. Let's false fit the honor guard. Oh, that didn't work.
You learn something every day.
Why did she run up to shoot the arrow? Dude is right there. Like I wasn't... Oh, she's getting whooped up. Ah, sweet, I leveled up. Get some restoring touch on her. Check my character sheet. I might want to do quickness. Let's do that.
At once.
Feels like my... blood is on fire. Got dark all of a sudden.
Man, these guys take forever to bring down. I wonder if can he heal her when she's down? Get her back up? No, she has to still be alive. Okay. Or conscious.
I'll take care of it.
I got it.
Sweet, he leveled up. Sweet. No loot? Aw. Wow, she's got 4 wounds. I'm gonna have to rest soon.
On it.
Let me just check this upper left-hand corner of the map. Make sure there's nothing around there before I leave. Once I get back to camp, I'll rest so Verse can get fully healed up. Guess I got everything. Alright, well, with that, I guess we'll leave off here. And I'll go back to camp, speak to voices in the rat. Actually, I might not just go, I might camp and move on to the next, because that area is right next to here. That would probably be the smartest thing to do time-wise. So we'll pick up here next time.